So the movie that I chose was Hacksaw Ridge, and it was released in 2016. The director was Mel Gibson, and the stars were Andrew Garfield, which was the main character, Desmond Doss in the movie, Sam Worthington, and Luke Bracey. The plot of this movie it's based off a true story of a man named Desmond Doss, and he was a medic in the army who won the Congressional Medal of Honor as um, despite refusing to bear arms during World War II because of his religious beliefs. Doss was harassed constantly by fellow soldiers, but then over time they started to respect him because of his bravery and selflessness after he risked his life without firing a shot of or like firing a gun or anything during war to save 75 men in battle. So then the rating of this movie is 8.1 out of 10 from IMDb. People that I think that would like this movie is if they like movies based off true events. People would like this movie because it's like so realistic during war. Um, Anyone that likes war movies or anyone that likes a romantic story. And so Soldier Doss has a romance with a military nurse. So whether you're more for the romance type scenes or like the war scenes, this movie definitely is something that you would enjoy. So it's like the best of both worlds. I would recommend this movie 100%. I first saw this movie when I was in high school during my history class, and ever since it has been like one of my favorite movies of all time, hands down. This movie represents history so well, and it, like I said, it's so realistic when it comes to war and like the battle scenes. And because of this was the amazing like cinematography. I love the fact that it had both like war concepts and like romance story all in one. I thought that this movie was very emotional, and I think I cried 100 times watching this movie. You find yourself rooting for Desmond Doss throughout the movie, and like you don't even realize it, but like it like shows how much that this movie like draws you in. And I think the fact that you do root for him is because like he is so passionate about everything he's involved in, whether it's like his love interest or his religion or just like the concept of like fighting for his country during this horrible time in history. So, but then I also, about the movie, I liked that it had some scenes that like involved comedy, because since the movie is like so realistic when it comes to war, it's very overwhelming. So this movie gives it a little more, is like, gives it some like lighthearted scenes, which is like nice and like gives you a break from like the overwhelming like war scenes. The acting of this movie was amazing. The actors were like really became and morphed into the role of these characters, especially Andrew Garfield, who played Desmond Doss. He like bears his heart and soul into the performance, and his intensity puts you at like the edge of your seat the entire time. So the story structure is like very straightforward and classic in its design and construct. The dialogue also so good, especially at the end of the movie when he is saving his men and like dragging them out of the battle, like out of the battlefield. He's like praying to God and begging him to help save these men. And so like every time he pulls a new like man out of the battlefield, he says save just one more every time, over and over again. And this dialogue is like so powerful, and like this again like had me bawling at this moment. Then I like I said, I love the cinematography because and like especially during the battle scenes. These battle scenes are like visually stunning with the use of light, shadow, and like the color. I thought the scenes that take you to like visual of the sky were like so interesting, and I thought like I interpreted it as them like representing like heaven, and I thought this connected really nice with the fact like this is solely based off of Desmond Doss's religion view, like his religious views. Then lastly, the sounds in this movie is also really good. The precision and detail of like specific sounds is like so incredible, like from shooting a gun or a bullet, like the bullet piercing sounds, to just like them marching and like hearing like the leaves rustle. Like it was just like so good. And then at the end of the movie, they added moments of silence to represent like the fury of battle, and I thought it was almost like represent like almost like moments of silence for the men that like lost their lives. And so yeah, I love this movie. I would recommend it to anybody. So yeah.